we're going to talk about gacha gaming, or AI in gacha gaming. Yep, it's one of those again. So this is about a gacha game by the name of Etheria Restart. Etheria Restart is a new turn-based action RPG gacha game that actually just released a month ago, so June 5th, and they've received really high praises. But Etheria Restart basically promised to kind of break down a lot of the pain points. For example, they don't have a 50-50 system on banners like a lot of other gacha games. There's also criticism for the game about, slow progression in the gameplay, etc. The biggest one, though, is AI, because there are allegations of Gen AI being used in this game. So this is the first video of a couple that I saw about Etheria Restart potentially using AI. And this is by a TikToker by the name of AffyTaffy7.
I do think Etheria is using AI art. I don't know if it's 100% AI. It's like very subtle because you can see it in the hair. Like the way that this hair is like angled, and same with like this, it's just weird looking. Is it minor? Yes, it is minor. The eyelashes don't look the same. This looks AI'd right here compared to this side. Right here compared to this side. Do you see what I'm saying? Her ears are like really strange angles. Like I said, it's minor, so it's like really easy to miss. One that like really looks AI to me is this one. There's like a random speck of hair that doesn't even connect to the rest of her hair here. That is very AI'd. Why would an artist do that? It doesn't even make sense. And then I think when they're pointing to the eye here, they're pointing to the fact that like this side has like a tiny bit of eyelashes and then this side doesn't have any eyelashes. And then this one, the armpit looks really weird. And then this hair, yeah, this one's the worst. This is the worst out of all of them actually, because that looks awful. The hair right here looks so bad. That is so AI'd.
This is the second video I saw about AI, and this was posted by WLW Chiori. So I have to mute it because it's probably copyrighted, but it just says, looks like AI, and it's about a character called Shadow Sania, who is one of the characters that is used in the examples of, oh, is this potentially AI or not? So we have another post on Twitter kind of going more into it. This is posted by Nexemesis, or the Storm Lady _ on Twitter. Literally so sad that Etheria Restart uses AI. Please, can you guys hire real artists? So these are a couple points to look at. This top character is Sania. This was the one that we've seen many, many times. A couple of things to note in the artwork that's a bit suspicious. One, the big one is the lack of consistency. So again, one that's pointed out, look at the shape of the eyeliner. Because why is the eyeliner for the right eye so different from the eyeliner on the left eye? You would imagine that if the artist drew it, they would just draw it the same, except it's not. Another one to note is just the funky line work happening here with the bangs. The bangs kind of sweep this way, but then there's all this like chicken scratch mark still on the face of the character for some reason. It could be something that you forgot about and the artist never erased it. But somebody who's capable of drawing this high level often doesn't make a mistake like this, because that's considered like kind of like a sloppier mistake to make. It could be a one-off mistake though, right? We'll look at other art to see otherwise. And then of course the weirdly shaped bangs. One thing to note that's a bit suspicious too is that this character has side bangs, right? The little like side bangs that go to the length of the cheek, which a lot of anime characters have. There's no consistency with the thickness, so the side bang on the left side is really thick. It, the average thickness, right? It's about like an inch or two long, like thick. And the side bang on the right side is super thin. It could be a design choice. I don't see how this would be a design choice in the design of this character, which is odd. So this character, it's circled in as the wings of the dove look like they're going in funky directions. And then here we have the hands of the character holding the dove, and the hand has 6 fingers. And this is the purple-haired character with, again, the side bangs have a lot of chunkiness going on, zigzagging going on at the very bottom of the bangs. That's just a bit odd, and her armpit is weirdly fleshy. Now, there are armpit enthusiasts, so some artists will cater to that by making very fleshy armpits. AI also does that. I don't know if you guys have noticed AI armpits. I don't know how deep into AI armpits anybody's looking, but AI tends to make armpits weirdly fleshy. Let me try to see if I can find an example. Okay, here. This is just something that's already been generated, which I'm like, ugh. Right? Look at how weirdly fleshy the armpit is. So why is her armpit so fleshy? Again, some people draw armpits like this because they're like into it, AI also just does that. Everything is very like anime, and then bam, realistic, fleshy, sweaty armpit. Like, hey, I mean, if you're into it, that's you, right? That's like one indicator that it's AI because it doesn't match the rest of the art style. It just feels a bit out of place. And then we have a post that was deleted, but Morgan left a reply as well. Hi, this is a few days late and I can't comment on character art, but they use AI in their backgrounds at the very least. So we have some background images. Look here. So Morgan circles, warping on the tile, texturing on the tile consistent with the mat, inconsistently angled, doesn't fit properly in the space. The arrows point to some artifacting, these little dots here, more artifacting on the orange box. What's going on here? Yeah. The big thing is, okay, let me back this up real quick. The big thing is AI is really bad at drawing lines. Like if you notice, these are supposed to be straight lines on the wall, but if you look at it, you feel like you're getting a little dizzy. Do you guys have this? Maybe it's me. When you're looking at this wall specifically, the wall makes you feel a little motion sick because the lines aren't fully straight. This line is not fully straight. Now, again, if you are somebody who just draws little wobbly lines, that's totally chill, but this is in a professional setting. This is background art for a gacha game that's gonna be released. That's already released, but you know, a gacha game that's made for profit under a studio. So an artist working in this context would, I assume, be able to use the ruler tool in Clipsy to Paint or whatever and draw some straight lines. AI is not good at drawing straight lines. Look at here, the dots up here on the light, they're just artifacts. The top row especially. AI is not good at drawing fine detail. You look at the fine detail over here and the clutter doesn't make sense for an MRI machine because these look like soda cans, which again, let me just tell you, zero metal should belong in an MRI room because it's gonna get yeeted out of your body. Soda cans do not belong in an MRI room because it will get yeeted. Random cabling on the floor that plugs into what exactly? It doesn't plug into the machine, that's for sure. Look here, we have wire that goes straight into the rug. Another one is inconsistent lighting. So this one is a bit more tricky to spot, but if you look here, the light source is at the very top of the room. So where exactly is the light coming from behind the MRI machine? There's a light speck here, and which is an artifact, right? And then we have light from behind the MRI machine. Where is that light? We have light coming from the top, from this screen, and from this screen, and the ring, I guess, around this MRI machine. Another one that we could look at, okay? First off, lines that are not fully straight, right? We have wobbling again with the lines, which happens. This is supposed to be a high-tech science building. This is the hallway with what looks to be very, very dilapidated hardwood floors. This looks like your school gym floor, you know, from that gym that's been built 60 years ago that they've never replaced the floor. But more things that are a bit suspicious though, look at this border, right, for the hallway. This green, by the way, it's not attached at the bottom. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know why it's not attached to the wall. Could be AI and it could be like a design choice for the setting of this background. And then we have a bunch of extra things that are a little bit wonky. Like, you know, this border here, it's like a 90-degree angle up at the top and then it's completely rounded at the bottom, which is a bit interesting. And there's all these little rectangle things on the floor, probably artifacts or whatever funky thing going on. And then Morgan circles, weirdly low res for the logo. An artist would have made sure the logo would have been higher res or personally touched it up. There's warping going on with the floors. The hallway to the right doesn't exist at number 2. It exists in front of number 1. There's a weird layout issue. There's artifacts, and then 1 kind of looks like a 4 over here because of the warping. So there's a YouTuber by the name of Fadi Dao who has a great video on this as well. This new gacha game is secretly using AI. So he covers a few points as well.
From afar, you don't really notice it. It's when you zoom in, it really starts to shine. I'm gonna show you some other examples here. If you look at Hellkit as well, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like this strain of hair here. This strain of hair all of a sudden comes out of nowhere if you look closely. There's a lot of these points here that don't make sense. However, Sonya is so obvious.
Sonya was absolutely ruined. I didn't even notice this one at first. The more you look at it, like the more stuff I'm noticing, right? Like we have weird zigzagging going on the collar.
This is even weirder to me because this is like, it looks like they forgot to repolish the AI art, which comes off to me is yet again lazy. It's like, oh, the game is almost at release, everything is okay, right? We did our polishing here and there, and oh, Sonya's not that polished, whatever, let's do this later, right? Let's make it polished later. No,
yep,
later, guys. That's how it's coming over to me. And you have this with a lot of other pieces. There is a lot of details here that don't make any sense and that should be addressed.
Look at the weird fleshy armpit thing going on again.
dressed, and you should take this into account. This is another great example. The hair from Doki Doki, you see this little hair string right here, it comes out of nowhere, which means the AI messed up, right? It is supposed to be a hair string here, but it is coming from the background. The background is all of a sudden getting a hair.
But again, you can see suspicions with characters. So we have this character, little nitpicky, but again, we have artifacting happening on the collar of the shirt, right? More odd lines that could be lines, brushstrokes that weren't erased, or it could be just like artifacts. The big one, this guy does not have the same eyelid on either eye. Now, again, there's many people in this world with uneven eyelids. I often don't see them drawn on game characters or anime characters because the artists typically draw people with even eyelids. And then there's again an odd like dimpling in the ear that anatomically just doesn't appear on people. And AI has a thing where lines will lead into other lines. So we have like a little curvature of the hair. Maybe it's an accident, but it leads like conveniently straight into the swoop of the inner ear. Could be a coincidence, could be AI. So at this point, you could maybe be like, well, you know, this could be AI art, but a lot of the extra lines, maybe it's a junior artist that just forgot to go and like clean it up. Or maybe it was an artist that was on a really, really rushed timeline, so they weren't able to finish the piece in the quality that they wanted to deliver it, but it was due to pressure from the studio. There's a bit of slight discourse on the internet about potential AI usage in their song. So they have ads that they put out, like every mobile game company does, to go promote their game. And they have this song, that one Devil Trigger parody. A lot of people are saying it sounds a lot like the song Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5. I don't want to play it because the DMCA reasons, but you can go check the song out for yourself. A lot of people suspect that there have been some usage of AI in replicating the ad songs so that it sounds similar to existing songs already. That is just a suspicion on Reddit anyways. Is it true? Who knows? You could look at everything and be like, well, these are all allegations. We don't have any definitive proof. Well. This article is titled, Chairman's Letter to Investors Proactively Embrace New Opportunities at the Cusp of a Changing Era. Dear fellow investors and friends of XD. And who is XD? Let me show you. XD Inc. is the developer of Etheria Restart. And they put out this big article talking about other games that they've released, including Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love. And then we get kind of down here. The upcoming new game, Etheria, also developed using the Unreal Engine, represents the company's latest production capabilities. Despite intense market competition, we will see greater differentiation in product positioning. This again kind of highlights how Etheria was positioned as a gacha game, minus the pain points that a lot of gacha games bring. Ew, but then we get to AI. So here they talk about the TapTap platform, and then they start talking about how the success of the TapTap platform was driven by our extensive application of AI recommendation technology. The core advantage of this AI technology lies not only in its ability to help accurately target and acquire high-quality users, but also to efficiently coordinate with third-party promotional partners. So, you know, potentially they're just using AI in some marketing things behind the scenes to speed up the process. But then they kind of go a little bit more into this, so they start saying, you know, the innovative promotion model is also a result of our long-term deep cultivation in TapTap's AI technology and algorithms. Continuously monitoring the rapid development of AI technology over the past year, which has already brought significant changes to the field of game creation. Soon, AI technology will drastically reduce game development costs in incredible ways, enabling more independent creators to produce astonishingly excellent game works with AI assistance. This represents a crucial development direction for TapTap. We will actively embrace this change and prepare thoroughly for it. And they basically start highlighting AI, etc. We don't know how they're implementing AI because AI is a nuanced subject where it's not like all AI bad, right? AI has been used to make progress in cancer research and discovering protein structures. There are very good uses for it. I'm not a fan of Gen AI, which is what Etheria Restart is being accused of, using Gen AI in the splash arts and in backgrounds for their game, potentially also in their music. While we don't have a confirmation about whether they used Gen AI or used it in the music, we do know that the developer, at least, of Etheria Restart is very pro-AI, especially pro-AI, and using it in the field of game development. So we kind of have like a gray area confirmation here that potentially all of our suspicions of it being AI might possibly actually be true. So curious if you guys will play the game, if you guys won't. I personally don't want to play games that have used Gen AI in it, so I will not, but you're entitled to make your own choices at the end of the day.